Good afternoon, everyone. Bill Ulivari with Senecal Capital Management on the next installment of What is Short Selling? Explain it to me like I'm 5. So this is part 2 of the video series that I wanted to do for a friend of mine who requested on Facebook to cover these topics. So today, again, what is short selling? Why are hedge funds losing so much money? And explain it to me like I'm 5. So for the next 4 to 6 minutes, I would ask that you suspend any logic and just be open to the analogy that I'm going to be putting before you. Again, because the idea of this particular video and all the videos is to explain a pretty complex financial topic simply and get to the core of the message and worry about the nuances a little bit later. So I'm going to discuss why the shares of GameStop went from $6 a share to $480 a share, and then today dropped about 30 to 40%. So again, we're going to do a 2 or 3 part series. What is short selling? What is a short squeeze? And what is a pump and dump strategy? And we'll get to those a little bit later. But again, today we're going to discuss short selling. So Investopedia.com, one of my favorite internet resources, defines short selling as an investment strategy that it speculates on the decline in the shares of a price of a security. It's an advanced strategy that should only be undertaken by experienced traders and investors. So it's a strategy that speculates on the decline in a stock price. So imagine, if you will, for this example, an extremely popular flight out of O'Hare Airport. In this example, say we're going to use the round-trip flight from Chicago to Miami, Florida. You know, it's wintertime, tons of snow on the ground, and this is a really popular flight. So at O'Hare Airport, these flights leave every hour, on the hour, 12 times a day to the great Sunshine State. And again, in this example, we're going to use the Boeing 767 because it has a moderate amount of legroom and it holds maximum capacity is 216 passengers. And I looked that up this morning on Google. So I also checked Expedia to find out how much a round-trip ticket from Chicago to Miami is. And it comes in at about $184 round trip, which actually is pretty enticing. But we're gonna round up and round down. We're gonna make the math really simple for us. So say rather than 216 flights and seats available on a plane, we're gonna go down to 200 seats. And for the price of the ticket, let's assume that it's $200 per round trip, not just $184. So if the airline sells all 200 tickets, we know that their gross revenue is going to be $40,000, right? 200 tickets times $200 per ticket is $40,000. That's the gross revenue. And we also know that for the most part, the expense, the cost of an airline for a round-trip flight stays the same all year long. We know that it has a pilot, a co-pilot, an engineer, maybe 4 flight attendants, 6 flight attendants. So the fixed cost of the Chicago to Miami trip every year, day in and day out, stays about the same. But you get to make more money in the wintertime when the snowbirds are trying to head down to Florida than you do in the summertime when you probably sell 150 seats. So someone came up with a great idea, a brilliant, beyond brilliant idea. Someone said, hey, I got this great idea. We're going to sell more tickets than we have seats for. Because we know there are people who are late for their flight, they get stuck in traffic, they get sick, they don't buy travel insurance, and we know with a high probability that if we sell 225 tickets, maybe 200 people show up, and we'll always have a full seat. We know that we make more money, a full plane. Or if we sell 225 tickets and only 150 people show up, we know that we've locked in the maximum sale for that flight. Our costs are fixed. We don't have to rely on the intemperate traveler, the itinerant traveler, to make profitability for our company. So that brilliant idea is really what works here. That's in essence what short selling is. The airline just sold 25 more tickets than they have seats for. And so we know that of the extra 25 tickets, that's $5,000 per flight, 12 times per day, 360 days a year, that the airline for that one particular route can earn an additional $21.6 million per year. That's just for the one route. That is an incredible amount of money when you think about it, because they know that not everybody's going to show up at the flight. And if there is an issue where maybe another airline has a problem mechanically, and all of a sudden all these people show up at the gate, they know that they can offer vouchers and placate the passengers who are really ticked off who wanted to catch on that plane, right? So they remove all the non-rev passengers, they remove all the deal passengers, and they only want paying passengers for that flight. So again, that's short selling. Short selling is when you sell more than you have in hopes that that extra amount goes out worthless, or you don't have to worry about fulfilling your obligation to the people that you sold it to. So again, that's exactly what short selling is, and how it's happening in GameStop and other hedge funds and other investors is they sell more shares than GameStop has outstanding because they think it's going bankrupt. They think that there's no one shows up at a brick and mortar business at a shopping mall anymore to buy video games or to sell their used Nintendo cartridges. These hedge funds are betting that GameStop goes out of business because all the shares they sold from 20, 15, 10, 11, down to $3 a share. They think the company is going bankrupt, and all those shares they will never have to make good on. They'll never have to return. They'll never have to do anything with, and they get to keep all the money. So that, my friends, is basically the definition of what short selling is. You sell something you don't own, so you don't, in hopes that you don't have to buy it back, or you can buy it back cheaper than you pay for it at a later date. This is Billy Laveri with Senecal Capital Management with Explain It Like I'm 5. What is short selling? If you have any questions, or if you want a particular topic covered, you send me an email at info@senecalcapital.com, and please like and share this with your family and friends. I'd really appreciate it. Have a great day.